Snax on Sports. What's good with y'all, man? Back with another one. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Man, I be lagging on my Snacks on Sports episodes, man. I be having so many things I want to talk about, but not enough time in the day to really sit and do all the episodes that I want to do all day, every day. But eventually I will. Eventually I will. You know what I'm saying? Nigga just be having to grind this shit out, work. You know what I'm saying? Make sure nigga bills are situated, paid, and all that until I grind to the point to where I get my hours and my subscribers up. You know what I mean? That I can get paid off this motherfucker. But anyway, Snacks on Sports. I'm back with another one, man. We finna talk about this Golden State Warriors. You feel me? We finna talk about the Golden State Warriors, man. I mean, see the title. For one, just know I'm not worried about nothing that's going on within it ain't even December yet. And y'all want a nigga to be worried about because the Golden State Warriors is on because they struggling a little bit. Fuck out of here, man. These niggas just won a championship in June. I ain't worried about no damn October and November. So I'm not worried about nothing, you know what I'm saying, pertaining to the Warriors. You know what I mean? Not even a little bit. Okay. And y'all see that's what the title say. Okay. But I just want to talk about it, you know what I mean, and kind of maybe give some of my takes on what I see, you know what I mean? On how they could maybe, be better or whatever. Not that, they gon', that they need to listen to me, but I'm just saying, just from what I observe and what I see, you know what I mean? I'm gonna give y'all my little spiel, my little rundown of what I see from the Golden State Warriors so far. You feel me? And y'all know I talk about, the Bay Area sports media and how they always overreact over every fucking thing. Matter of fact, let's see what the fuck these niggas talking about right now. They might be talking about the Niners because the Niners played last night, Sunday Night Football, and got the win. So the Niners is a talking point today. But they've also talking about the Warriors. They lost last night, and then the Warriors play again tonight. San Antonio Spurs. You know what I'm saying? But let me see what they on right now.
So that you just did not get last night. I was talking to our intrepid program director, Matt Nahagian, and he asked a question. He said, why is everyone so mad? Why is everyone so mad? And my only real answer to that is, the old Hunter S. Thompson quote, you buy the ticket, you take the ride. Everyone bought the ticket for this year, but no one's really impressed with the ride that they're on so far.
No. Well, for starters, 6 is less than 8.5. So there's some people who are unhappy because of that, and I defend their right to be that. But other than that, at what point in Kyle Shanahan's service here?
Okay, they're talking about the 49ers. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't gonna listen to that right now because we on the Golden State Warriors. I get to the Niners later on. But B-Nut, what's good, boy? You know what I'm saying? You see I'm on it, man. I'm just, another episode talking about these Warriors. But yeah, so Golden State Warriors, defending champions. They won their 4th championship in 8 years in June. 4th championship in 6 tries in June. And so far this season, they've gotten off to, kind of a, I don't want to say a rocky start, but you know what I mean? Not they haven't hit the ground running per se, being the defending champions. Now, one thing I will say that I'm remembering off the top of my head right now, off me talking about this, is the Milwaukee Bucks. When they won the NBA championship 2 years ago, that following year, which was last year, okay, they started out, kind of suspect last year as well. They started out kind of rocky, and then it's a long season, bro. It's 82 games, so eventually over the course of the season, it's going to all even out and level out, and that's what happened. Now, they lost in the second round. They was up 3-2 in that series against the Boston Celtics, and they just ended up losing. I thought they would win Game 6. You know what I mean? Because Because game 6, they was up 3-2 with game 6 in Milwaukee. And I'm just like, Giannis, game 6, a closeout game, and they the defending champions? Yeah, they finna close this out. But, hey, Jason Tatum had other plans. He said, no, we going back to Boston, bro. And then when they got back to Boston, the crowd, they at home. Bruh, the chubby dude, the light-skinned motherfucker, young nigga, he had a game for the ages. I think that nigga hit like 8-9 threes and all of that other shit. He probably won't hit 8 or 9 threes in a game for the rest of his fucking career and shit. But in that game, he did eliminated the Bucks and the Boston. If whoever win that series is going to the finals to play against the Golden State Warriors. So it was either going to be Warriors, Boston, or Warriors, Bucks. Me, preferably, I think it's going to be Warriors, Bucks this year. Okay? But I'm saying that to say, like, it's okay. This is not unprecedented. You know what I'm saying? Like, now, it's also not the norm for a defending champion to, like, where the Warriors is at right now. Like, they played 7. They played, they've played 13 games. Okay, 7 of them have been on the road. They're 0-7. They have not won one game on the road. Okay. No. So wait. Hold on. They were 5. They were 3-7. They were 3-7. Then they won 2 games in a row. Okay. They beat Sacramento a week ago. Then they beat Miami. No, they beat Sacramento. Then they beat Cleveland to get to 5-7. And then they had the game last night. So now they're 5-8. Okay. They're 5-8 after 13 games. And they played 7 games on the, so they played 13 games. 7 of them have been on the road. That means only 6 have been at home. It all evens out. But they're 0-7 on the road. Okay. And that has not happened to a defending champion team where they started out and lost all of their first 7 road games. Also, it's not nothing I'm overly worried about. It'll even out. I can go back to, I know, well, you said they shoulda, woulda, coulda, they were supposed to, but they didn't. But I'm gonna use that. For example, last night, motherfuckers was up 15. Motherfuckers was up 15 in the second quarter. Now I understand that 15 points in today's NBA game is not a lot of points to be up by, especially if it's only the first half, first or second quarter. You could be up by 15 in the fourth quarter and still lose. The way the game is, the way the game is so wide open. But so I'm not saying that it's an insurmountable lead that the Kings couldn't have came back and won that game, but they weren't supposed to come back and win that game like that, bro. Like the leads vanish so quick, and we help and assist the opposition to come back. You know what I'm saying? If you got a 17-point lead beginning of the second quarter, and the opposing team go on a 10-0 run and cut it to 7, okay, bam, timeout. Let's call a timeout. Let's talk about this. We had a 17-point lead. We were playing one particular way to get that lead. We stopped playing that way, and we have been playing a certain particular way the past 2 or 3 minutes to lose, to turn a 17-point lead into now a 7-point lead. So let's stop what we have been doing for these past 2 or 3 minutes and go back to what we was doing to get us the lead. And then you go back out there on the court and you manifest that. These motherfuckers right here, man, they just the lead go from 17 to 7 in 2 minutes, and they just don't. Eventually, you gotta stop the bleeding, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta stop the bleeding. You can't just let these niggas just and then we help by careless turnovers. You know what I mean? And then, I'm not no blame the ref ass nigga, but the refs didn't help either. This moving screen that they be calling fouls, bro, that don't even got nothing to do with the fucking play. You know what I mean? And then the ones that do is like off the ball fouls and shit. And then they calling. I've seen a back-to-back possessions where they call a moving screen on Kevon Looney, and the nigga wasn't even moving, bro. It's like, bro, like, come on, man. We got to start. You got to let these players play, though, man. You don't just let it be so obvious that you're trying to give the game to Sacramento, because the last game that they played a week ago, Sacramento felt like, I don't know what happened towards the end because I didn't see it at the end, but Warriors ended up winning the game. I guess Herter, the white boy Herter, got fouled by Clay or something like that, or it should have been called a foul, and they didn't, and that led to Kings players and Mike Brown, the head coach, and fans talking about, oh, the Kings never get a whistle and all that. So to me, that was a makeup game. You know what I'm saying? Yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Because now one thing I will say, okay, because they call the way they calling that moving screen shit is like to where like the screener absolutely can't move. You can't even fidget, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? And that's how to set a proper screen. Yes, it's illegal to set a screen and be moving, trying to move to make sure you set the screen on the defender, so that whatever player that's your teammate can go off that screen and get open or whatever, right? But my thing is like this: since they calling it like that, I think some of the onus should start to go back more towards the player that's actually trying to get open. Because what I mean by is that, like, whoever it is, Steph or it's Clay or Jordan Poole or whoever, if Kevon Looney is trying to set a screen and he's standing still, you got to make sure. They teach us this. You got to go back to grade level basketball. Okay, when we first learned, when we was coming up playing basketball, that when you running off a screen, make sure that your shoulder as close as without running your teammate over. Make sure your shoulder somewhat rubs up against his shoulder. So if I'm standing like this straight, trying to set a screen for my teammate that's running this way, then he's running by me this way. So when he runs by me this way and his defender is trailing him, he needs to run by me and slightly rub up against my shoulder to make sure that he gets open and that his defender can't get through, and so he has that, and so that he can get open. Because a lot of times what happens is, a player will get called for a moving screen, but it's because the person that the screen is being set for is not running close enough to the screen setter. So he runs off wide. He's running off wider than what he should. So that means that the person that's defending him can kind of like slide through the screen, because there's a hole there in between the screen setter and the person that's being screened for. So a lot of times what happens is, just by nature, the person that's the player that the screen is being set for kind of runs out a little wide. Now that makes the screener have to step over a little bit to try to make sure that they actually set the screen on the defender, and that's illegal. You can't move. But yesterday, what I was seeing, so I'm saying, who the player that the screen is being set for, he got to take more of the onus. You got to make sure you rubbing up against the screen setter's shoulder so that way he don't have to move, and he don't got to even inch a little bit to the left or to the right a little bit to try to make sure that the screen is being set. Because what's happening is, that's what's happening. He's having to move, even if it's a little bit, just like a little nudge this way to try to, like, okay, he's coming up, let me to try to make sure I set the screen on the defender, but you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times it's not even that the screen setter is moving. It's that I'm getting ready to set a screen. I'm really trying to brace myself for the impact of the person that I'm setting the screen on. He's going to, he could run through my chest. So I'm trying to, so while I'm bracing myself, I might do this, you know what I mean, to try to brace myself for the screen, for the impact. And the referees look at that as like, you moving. I'm not moving. I'm bracing myself for the impact. This nigga might try to run through my chest. You know what I mean? Because if he don't, then his man is going to be wide open for a drive to the basket or a wide open shot. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things, bro, to where, I'm saying that to say they got to cover all bases. Don't leave it up to the refs. You know what I'm saying? But the main thing, but my point in saying that is that they was up by 15 points. You know what I mean? Golden State Warriors should have won that game. Period, point blank. I know it was a lot of time left. You can't just let the lead just evaporate in 2 minutes. And then the Warriors lost that game yesterday in the second quarter. That's where they lost the game at. Okay? Up by 15, 16, 17 points. They only gave up 26 points in the first quarter. Then they gave up basically 40 points in the second quarter. That's where you lost the game right there. That's where you lost the game right there in the second quarter. Okay? And for whatever reason, Steph Curry's playing out of this world. Out of this fucking world. 50, 40, 90. Shooting splits. The most points a game he's ever averaged. He's averaging 32. Averaging like 7 rebounds, 7 assists. Like, he's playing out of this world. Okay? But that second unit, man. Something going on with that second unit, bro, to where they're not being able to maintain a lead or just keep them, even if the opposition makes a little run, you know what I mean? When a second unit come in, if you got a 10-point lead, at least let the starters come back in with a lead, my nigga. You know what I mean? 2, 3 points, something. You know what I'm saying? And they not playing up to par right now, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So, but that was a game that they could have won. Their first road trip of the year. Okay, they should have beat Detroit. Okay, they should have beat Charlotte, and they should have beat Orlando. They just should have beat all of those teams, bro. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they 0-7 on the road so far, but I mean, they should really be like 4-3. You know what I mean? I know I was like, oh, well, should have, would have, could have. They didn't win it. Okay, yeah, I give you that. But that's part of the reason why I'm not worried or tripping, because for one, it's early in the season, and I feel like they're gonna get it right. You know what I'm saying? So one of the main things for me, or the main thing that's a big issue right now, is defense. Defensively, you know what I'm saying? They're not playing together defensively. You know what I'm saying? Or like they're not playing as one. Too many wide open 3-point shots, for the opposition. It's too easy to get to the basket for the opposition. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, B-Nut. Yeah, they not playing no defense right now, bro. You know what I'm saying? They kind of do it in spurts. You can see that they're starting to kind of like get it better. They had a little 2-game winning streak, and they lost last night. You know what I'm saying? But they still trying to just put it together, bro. You know what I'm saying? They just still trying to put shit together. You know what I mean? It's still the beginning of the season. It's still early, bro. Only 13 games. This is an 82-game season. Y'all already know. I've said this in many lives about how I judge a team in football or basketball. Yeah, they need to get out of their heads and just go out there and play. You know what I'm saying? But for me, 20 games is the cutoff mark for me. That's a quarter of the NBA season. Like I said, the NFL is 4 or 5 games, a quarter of the season. Okay. They played 13. So we getting there. And in 13 games, they're 5-8. But still, it's still early. After 20 games, whatever their record is going to be, whether it's 9-11, 10-10, 11-9, 12-8. Okay, 12-8 would mean they would have to go on a 7-game winning streak. They totally can do it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not banking on that or counting on that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying they obviously can do it. And at some point of this year, they are going to go on a run. You know what I'm saying? It's just going to happen, bro. So yeah, 20 games, bro. After game number, game 20, then I'll be able to say, okay, you know what? This is what it is. They need to do this. But even still, then I'm still not going to be worried. Like the Warriors can be a 500 team, all the way up until 3/4 of the season is done. Like 60 games have been played. If they 30-30, 35-25, or that's a little bit better of a record. But 31-29, 32-28, some shit like that after 60 games, I'm still not going to be worried, bro. I'm still not, because the Warriors, see, when teams win championships, bro, they earn the right. They earn the benefit of the doubt. These motherfuckers have won 4 championships in 8 years, 4 championships in 6 tries. Okay. And the 2 times they lost in the finals was circumstantial. 2016, NBA helped out the Cleveland Cavaliers. In 2019, our team wasn't healthy in the finals. So it is what it is, But I'm saying, bro, not only have they won 4 championships in 8 years and in 6 tries, they're the defending champions. You know what I'm saying? They just won it in June. They are the reigning champions right now. So I'm just not gonna worry. You feel me, B-Nut? You know what I'm saying? I'm just not gonna worry about the Golden State Warriors and where they at right now after 13 games. When they've shown that they're capable of basically turning it on when they need to turn it on. Even last year. Now I know motherfuckers, well, last year y'all started out 18-2 after 20 games. It was 8-2. Yeah, they were 18-2. But then injuries started to happen. And I would say the last half of the season, the Warriors were barely above 500. You know what I'm saying? Steph, Clay, and Dre, the big 3, okay, did not play but 11 total minutes together all last year. There's 82 games in a regular season. There's 48 minutes each game. Okay? So they're playing 48-minute games 82 times. The big 3, Steph, Clay, and Dre, played a total of 11 minutes together the whole season for the regular season. But everybody was healthy and ready at the start of the playoffs, and they went and won a championship. So why would I worry about 13 games into the season? Now, I will say this. This is what I will say, because it's not about being worried. It's not about being worrisome. However, as a fan, it is frustrating to see your team play games and not play up to their potential, play to where they should be playing, and lose games that they should win. Yeah. That's frustrating to the bitch. That's hella frustrating. You know what I mean? Because I'm sitting there watching these games like, man, what the fuck is y'all doing out here, man? Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still keeping it in perspective, and I'm looking at it in the big picture frame of mind. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, in the moment while you're watching a game and they not playing well and they playing against an inferior team, we all know that they're an inferior team, and they lose that game. Yeah, that's frustrating. You know what I'm saying? But it's still not nothing for me to worry about, or to say, or to start feeling like, um, like they don't, they like they can't um win a championship this year or defend their title or whatever. I'm not at that point. I won't be at that point. I will have to see the Warriors play like this for the entire year, bro. It was points of the season last year. There was a point of the season last year after the 8-2 start and after all that shit had wore off, like towards the end of the season, not the very end, but like that middle to going towards the end, where they were just playing bad. They even had a 5-game losing streak at one point last year in the year where they won a championship. Okay, and I had even tweeted it out. I think I did a live last year, last season, where I said this Warriors team is not a championship team right now. They're just not. That's how they were playing at that time. I still have faith that they could possibly come out of it, but how they was playing for like a 2-3 week period, it just didn't look good. It didn't look good at all. So and they came up out of that and ended up winning the championship. So why would I, after 13 games, and yeah, that was a disappointing loss last night, but why would I all of a sudden start to think that they can't get the job done? Now, I'm not saying that they will. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that they're for surely. I still believe that they're going to win the championship. I still believe that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not guaranteeing it, but that's just what I still believe. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm not saying that they will win the championship, or I'm not guaranteeing that they will, but I'm saying that they will. But if they don't, I'm not going to be like surprised at that either. I'll be surprised if they end up not making the playoffs or get eliminated in the first round or some shit like that. But anything past making it to the second round and losing, I just won't be surprised. It would not be unprecedented for a team to win a championship and then the next year go out in the second round. The Lakers did it in 2010. I mean, in 2011, they won the championship in 2010, and then in 2011, they got swept in the second round by the Dallas Mavericks, who went on to win a championship. It just happened last year with the Milwaukee Bucks. They won the championship in 2021, and then in 22, they got eliminated in the second round. There's another one that I'm thinking about too that I just forgot. But so I'm just, I'm saying nothing is at this point, everything that they've accomplished in this era during this run, you know what I'm saying? I really wouldn't be surprised either way. I wouldn't be surprised if they win it again, or I wouldn't be surprised if they get bounced in the second round or some shit, just because, like, okay. Also this too. I do kind of feel like that first 5, 6, 7 games or so, you know what I'm saying? I do feel like it was some, and even right now, I do feel like it's starting to wear off some, but I think it was a little bit of championship hangover. You know what I mean? I mean, they just champions always do that. Champions always prove critics wrong. You know what I mean? I can go to Tom Brady, my favorite player in football. They said this man should have retired 10 years ago. If he would have retired 10 years ago, he wouldn't have 7 Super Bowl rings. He would only have what? 3? You know what I'm saying? He would only have 3. He won it in 14, 16, 18, and 20. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, the great ones, you know what I'm saying? The great ones always prove the critics wrong. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm saying that championship that the Warriors won last year, okay, this 4th one, and Steph got that Finals MVP, which he didn't need it to, but it's just good to have to kind of shut stupid motherfuckers up. But that one was the capper. That one was the icing on the cake. That one was there's literally nothing else that they need to do or prove. Yeah, it's better. And I said that too. It's better that this is happening at the beginning of the season. You know what I mean? So they can work it out. That you 1000% correct about that, B-Nut. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, it's okay. If people say, oh well, last year, you know, they won it last year. They started out fast. Yeah, well, they ended slow. You know what I'm saying? Now, they did win their final 5 games of the year without Steph Curry. They did do that. You know what I'm saying? But before that final 5-game win streak that they had to close out the regular season, because Steph Curry didn't play the last 12 games of the year, but his little ankle or whatever happened to him. When Marcus Smart dove at the ball and injured him. They ended out on that 5-game win streak. But before that, like that previous, I damn near want to say like that previous month, I mean, they did not look like a team that was getting ready to win the championship, bro. They just didn't. You know what I'm saying? So they ended slow. This year, they're starting out, you know, kind of slow. And hopefully they end this regular season how they started last regular season. It's a long season, man. You know what I mean? So, for me, the championship hangover thing, what I mean by that is this, okay? They got back to the mountaintop. They reached the mountaintop, you know, after nobody thought that was going to happen. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Once KD left, ain't nobody thought they was winning no damn championship again. Me, myself, I never thought it was over. Because I'm like, I kept trying to tell these motherfuckers, no, they won a championship before him. And the same key core figures are still there. The head coach is still there. Steph Curry is still there. Draymond Green is still there. Klay Thompson is still here. So I know he was hurt at the time, but he's going to be okay again. You know what I mean? The key figures were still there. So to me, I never thought it was over. Everybody kept trying to say, "Oh, that was a long time ago. The NBA has changed now. Everybody didn't caught up to y'all and this and that and blah blah blah." Really, all that championship last year showed, once they beat the Boston Celtics this past year, really what that championship proved was that we never really fell off. We just was hurt. Okay? So once KD left, not only did KD leave, which I do think that year after KD, I think we probably maybe would have took a little bit of a step back anyway, even if Klay Thompson didn't get hurt, just because I still think we would have been a playoff team, but I think we would have took a little bit of a step down before we built it back up, just because a player like that leaving is going to leave a little dust. It's going to leave a little remnant, meaning so you're going to have to find ways to replace that. You ain't going to replace it with just one player. You know what I'm saying? So in replacing a player of Kevin Durant's productivity, it might take a year or two to get the right pieces in place to get it back to how it was before KD, when it was a little more when the team was a little bit deeper. rather than top heavy. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that following year, which ended up being the pandemic year. That was 2019, 2020. Because KD's last year with us was 2018, 2019, the year we lost in the finals to Toronto. So boom, KD left. And so like I said, if Clay never got hurt, you know what I mean, then I still think we would have been a playoff team and all that. But maybe we wouldn't have been a championship team that year. But then that following year, which was the year that we should have made the playoffs, but was the first year of the play-in, that would have been, you know what I'm saying? So my point is, I'm saying that to say the championship last year just proved that we never really fell off. Motherfuckers were saying like we fell off, like the dynasty was over. The dynasty was never over. It just so happened that while KD left, simultaneously, one of our other key players and components, one of the greatest shooters of all time, Klay Thompson, he was also going to be out for that whole year. He tore up his knee in the finals. Okay? So that team was already going to have at least just probably one down year. It may not have been as down as it was if Klay was still there, but it was still going to be a down year. The pandemic happened anyway. It was a stop in the middle of the season. You know what I mean? A 4-month break. They set up the bubble, and then them niggas went over there and won a little easy little bubble, little championship, the Lakers. And then from there, we started to build it back up. We started to surround Steph, Clay, and Dre with what they needed to be surrounded with to get the formula back to where it was before KD. So that was my whole thing, bro. My whole thing was, bro, I was never saying that I guarantee that we're going to win another championship without KD. My whole thing was, bro, we're still going to be right there. We're still going to be in contention. You know what I'm saying? We're just going to go back. We're just going to go back to we're going to go from being this unbeatable team to just being one of the best teams now. Because all KD did was make us the best team. He took us from being the best team in the league. We were already the best team in the league to, okay, now it's no way possible they're going to be beat unless a few of their core players are hurt, like what happened in the 2019 finals. So once he leaves, then we just go back to being the best team in the league. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm starting to get? That these are really growing pains because now we got James Wiseman for new dudes in a rotation. Exactly. That's exactly that's another good point right there too. Is that, and see, that's another thing. Like, listen to these motherfuckers on this radio station right here.
22 years. Been a long time. So, good win.
95.7 The Game, Bay Area Sports Talk Radio, right? I listen to them a lot. Okay. And all these motherfuckers do is rile up the Bay Area sports fan base, who a lot of motherfuckers don't really, not to shit on motherfucker sports knowledge, but they don't really know like what they talking about when they call in on these shows, and they don't really know what they looking at. Like most fans just go off of what they hear somebody that they think know what they talking about say. You know what I'm saying? Versus actually watching the games and being able to dissect it. You know what I mean? And really like know what's going on. I know what's going on just from watching it. You know what I'm saying? I don't need for nobody to tell me nothing. I can tell you what's going on by watching it with my own eyes, right? So these motherfuckers, they get the fans all riled up and throw out all of these negative narratives, you know what I'm saying, about the young players. I'm saying this because, you know what I'm saying, being that you just said about about James Wiseman, which brings me to our young core, right? It's like, bro, James Wiseman is 21 years old, bro. He's 21. Okay. Jonathan Kuminga is 20. Moses Moody is 20 or 21 or 20, one of them. You know what I'm saying? Jordan Poole is only 23. Okay. So they talk about James Wiseman and Kuminga. Now I got a few things I do want to say about Kuminga, but they talk about James Wiseman and Kuminga, and to a lesser extent Moody. Moody gets a little bit more praise just because you can see that he gets it a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Early in his career, like he still sometimes out there in the court don't put it all the way together. He might still make some young player type of mistakes, but you could see that he knows what he should be doing out there. Sometimes Kuminga, and to a lesser extent now Wiseman looks a little bit more comfortable now, but Kuminga and like I said, to a lesser extent Wiseman, sometimes they kind of look like they don't really know what they should be doing. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not even worried about that because, bro, they don't have to be, for one, they young as fuck. For two, they don't have to be like hella great right now. That's not, you got Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green. They still, all three of them are still in their prime. Now I know motherfuckers will hear me say that and say, well, I believe Steph Curry's still in his prime, but Klay Thompson, he ain't in his prime, no more injuries. Draymond Green, he's slowing down. To me, they all still in their prime. Draymond Green is right now, if you watch the games, he's playing great basketball right now. Okay. Maybe he has, over the years, maybe he has lost a step, but not so much to the point to where his defense ain't impactful and he don't still do the same things, kind of like facilitating the offense that he usually do. He still does all of that great, and he's scoring more this year. Like Draymond, stats wise and eye test wise, Draymond Green is playing great right now. You know what I'm saying? And Klay Thompson, if somebody wants to say, okay, the injuries have robbed him of some of his of some of the little athleticism that he had, okay, but I think it's only defensively. But I can see the whole thing about, I will say, a lot of his shots when Klay misses, he is hitting the front of the rim. He hitting the lip of the rim. You know what I mean? So that do kind of tell you legs wise, you know what I mean, that he's not all the way there. But to me, that's less injury. That's less related to, he's 100% healed from the injuries, bro. He's not. I mean, you're gonna still play it cautious because he's had those injuries now. But he's 100% healed. He's 100% healthy. So the injury thing that's done. You know what I'm saying? It's conditioning wise. Because he's had the injuries, he don't want to risk playing in the offseason like that no more in meaningless games. So he didn't get his normal, regular run in scrimmage wise to kind of like stay in shape. So he's using the beginning of the season to like get in shape. I'm not worried about Klay Thompson, bro. These motherfuckers act like Klay. They act like Klay Thompson before his injuries, like, was just giving you 25, 30 points every night and just shooting lights out every night. And that's just not the case. That's not the case. You can go back and look at Klay Thompson's career, okay, from the time, he came into the league all the way up until he got that injury in 2019, in June of 2019. Go look at all of his regular seasons, okay? It's not unnormal for Klay Thompson, out of a 82-game season, to have 30 games or so where he scores like 12, 13 points or less. anywhere from like, he ain't gonna never give you like nothing. But it's been many times, 20, 30 games out of an 82 game season where you'll look up and Clay, may have gave you 8 points, 9 points, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 points, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? So when they talk about Clay right now, they talk about, man, like the injuries, man, he's not the same player, and this and that, and blah, blah, blah. Like because he may go on a 2 or 3 game stretch where, he don't shoot the ball well. That's not abnormal. That's happened a lot in the past. So people have selective memory, or they just, they remember what they want to remember. You know what I'm saying? Like, so for me, you know what I'm saying? I just want motherfuckers to remember that. I just want motherfuckers to remember that. Klay Thompson ain't never had a year where all 82 games he scored 25 or more points and hit 6, 7 threes in every game. You know what I'm saying? And played hellacious fucking defense and ain't never got scored on. Like, it's the NBA. So I'm not worried about Klay Thompson because I don't have this fake false perception of what he is. You know what I mean? I feel like, he's still kind of like trying to get in shape. It's still early. He ain't played in every game. They played 13 games. He ain't played every game. They played a lot of back-to-back. It's a back-to-back tonight. He might not play tonight. So Klay has only played out of the 13 games, he only played in like 10 of them. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm not worried about Klay Thompson, bro. I'm not worried about Klay Thompson. You know what I mean? And Draymond is playing well. Steph is playing like the MVP of the league. So I'm not worried about none of the big three. Andrew Wiggins has picked up right where he left off in the playoffs. He's playing well. Looney is doing what Looney does. Jordan Poole is playing okay. You know what I'm saying? He could play better. You know what I mean? It's a lot of careless turnovers. Carrying, they call that carrying a lot. He getting travel and called on him a lot. He's not shooting as well as he probably wants to. So, Jordan Poole could play a little better, but I'm not worried about it. You know what I'm saying? He's still a young player. His damn self. But on the Wiseman thing, you know what I'm saying? On the Wiseman thing, we got to remember this about Wiseman. Technically, this is James Wiseman's 3rd year in the league. Technically. Okay? He was drafted a year after Jordan Poole. Technically, this is his 3rd year. It's a lot of like knowledge, just from being around the game and being around being around the NBA game and being around these Hall of Fame players that, he should have soaked in and soaked up by now. And I know that he has. But still, you got to be out there. So I'll say, technically, this is his 3rd year. To say this is his 3rd year, like by NBA season standpoint wise, but he's essentially still a rookie in games played. Okay. His first year was the pandemic year. Okay. There was only 72 games played that year anyway. He only played half that. He played 36 games. He had a little injury right before the stoppage of the season. You know what I mean? And they just kept him out and just, you know what I mean? There's no reason to rush back, and then the pause of the season happened and all that. So, he had an injury, so he just rehabbed that or got surgery or whatever happened, right? Bam. So he only played 36 games his rookie year, which was a pandemic year. Coronavirus, something that the whole world has never even experienced. You know what I'm saying? We all went through that shit, you know what I mean, for the first time. What happened in 2020, okay? So So you got that. He only played 36 out of a possible 72 games his first year because he got hurt midway through the season. Then his second year, which was last year, which was the year we won the championship, um, he didn't play at all. He was supposed to come back around the time Clay came back, but it just never happened. When he was getting ready to come back towards the end of the season, right before the playoffs, he played three G League games just to kind of like ramp up and prepare for returning to the NBA. And he played well. You know what I'm saying? He looked like he, you know what I mean, put on muscle. He's a mammoth now, a beast, and in those three G League games, it looked like he was dominating. But what happened was that surgically repaired knee started to swell. It didn't respond well to him, basically getting out there on the court. So they shut him down. He could have still came back, you know what I mean? But they chose not to. They shut him down. So he didn't even play his whole second year. The whole year last year, he didn't step on the court at all. So now he's back. So essentially, in games played, he's a rookie, bro. You know what I'm saying? And not only is he a rookie, he's on a team that's contending for championships right now. So ain't no time for, they're still trying to develop the young players, but they're trying to do something that is unprecedented what they did last year, which is develop young players and contend for championships at the same time. That's damn near impossible to do. You know what I'm saying? But because they were fortunate enough, you know what I'm saying, to, have certain draft picks because of whatever, they got caught in this situation. And then KD leaving also gave him another draft pick and all that other shit. You know what I mean? Because KD didn't just leave. He agreed to do a sign and trade. He didn't have to do that. But, we did help him win championships. So I know mother's all, well, he helps out. Yeah, but we had already won a championship. So if we never even win another one, we at least had that one. He didn't have shit. So from that standpoint, we helped him more than he helped us. And not to mention that, we just won another championship without him. After he left us for dead and thought we wasn't going to be shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, because he did that sign and trade, you know what I mean? That got us D'Angelo Russell, which then we mortgaged into Andrew Wiggins and a draft pick or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then then we ended up getting Kuminga or whatever. Like Kuminga would have been the pick that was going to go to Minnesota. You know what I mean? Or however that went down. So, but yeah, man, like Wiseman. So I'm saying that to say, for example, if Wiseman was on the Minnesota Timberwolves, okay, well, Timberwolves are, they're a little bit better team now. But let's just say if Wiseman was on a bad team, Detroit Pistons or Orlando Magic or, the Sacramento Kings or something like that. Yeah, he'll be out there, he'll probably be giving you 17, 18, 19 points a game, 8, 9 rebounds a game right now as a young player, you know what I mean? And even some nights giving you 20 and 10 or more. But the team that he playing on ain't no good. You know what I mean? And he might not necessarily be learning good habits, you know what I'm saying, from playing on a bad team. But yeah, you putting up some numbers because you're a young player that's playing on a bad team. You see what I'm saying? So the fact that he's on a championship team, he don't have the same luxury of just being able to just be out there and just go through hella growing pains and just fuck up and just be able to play through it. Because if the Warriors allow that to happen, then they're going to lose games. If you lose a lot of games, then you ain't going to be in the best position to potentially win a championship, or you ain't going to make the playoffs at all. So they got to balance having Kuminga and Wiseman out there, and when they get out there, they got to play good in the little minutes that they out there, in the 10 to 15 or so minutes that they out there. They have to play well. If they don't play well, Steve Kerr not going to put them back out there, because how can I do that and you being out on the floor is causing us to possibly lose these games because you're not playing how I need you to play. You see what I'm saying? So, but you still gonna. So then you have these callers calling, well, how are they gonna learn if they ain't out there, and this and that, and blah blah blah. If not, that's true in a sense. That is true. But at the same time, it just is what it is, bro. You got Steph, Clay, and Dre. You trying to win championships right now. You know what I mean? So, but at the same time, it's still early in the season. I refuse to believe that we get toward the middle of the season, the end of the regular season, and Wiseman won't be contributing in a little bit more of a fashion than what he's contributing right now. I refuse to believe that. I know he will be. He's going to gradually get better over time, over the course of the season, as he starts to play more. You know what I'm saying? Like, he don't have to be 20 and 10 right now. That's not what they need from him. You know what I'm saying? They need him to be out there, be a force when he out there, in the little minutes that he out there, play defense, protect the rim, grab rebounds, and then when you get your little opportunities to score, do your thing. But that's basically it. You know what I'm saying? They don't need him to be a dominant figure, scoring wise. Be dominant in your role. And I believe that's what he's trying to do. He's just still learning and trying to get the hang of it. But he's still a young player, bro. Like I said, he's essentially a rookie. So he's still learning. He's young. He's 21. So I'm not worried about James Wiseman. Y'all see the motto here? I ain't worried about the Golden State Warriors. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not worried about James Wiseman. I feel like James Wiseman is gonna make an impact this year at some point in key moments, particularly in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we ain't never had a motherfucker like him down there. So I know it's coming. I ain't worried about it. You feel me? Kuminga, I'll say this about Kuminga. I'm not worried about Kuminga either because he's a young player. He's 20. However, what I do see with Kuminga is that he ain't really got no moves, bro. You know what I'm saying? We all got excited about Kuminga, you know what I mean, when he was drafted, because of the athleticism and this and that. And they was trying to come out and compare him and try to say he could be a Kawhi Leonard type player and all that. But as far as like offensively, he don't really got a whole bunch of moves like that. He just kind of Westbrookian in a way, not and to be disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, as far as like just kind of like head down, driving to the basket and just trying to just get something when he get there. But a lot of times he just head down and just driving, trying to get to the basket. And then when he get there and can't fully get there to the basket, it's like, okay, what do I do? It's a pivot, it's a travel, it's down. Then I'm on one pivot foot trying to pass it, make a hard weird pass, and I end up turning it over. So offensively, what I see with Kuminga is he needs to just work on his offensive game a little bit more and just become a little bit more versatile. I see him trying to, he's not a good 3-point shooter either. I see him trying to get better. He'll hit a 3 or a 2, but he can't shoot a lot of them because he gonna miss damn near all of them. You know what I'm saying? He'll make 1 or 2, but you know what I'm saying. But I see him, attempting to, try to take a little bit more, but not try to take too much because if he take too many and he missed, Steve Kerr gonna have him right on the bench with him. But he just gotta diversify, you know what I mean, his repertoire when it comes to offensively. When it comes to Wiseman, he's a little bit more skilled offensively, I see. You know what I mean? He can post you up back to the basket. You know what I mean? He can face you. You know what I mean? In the post and do a little something. He got a little outside touch as well. You know what I'm saying? James Wiseman got he got some offensive skill to him. He just not able to display it right now how he would want to if Steph and Clay wasn't there, or Jordan Poole wasn't ahead of him. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? It will come. James Wiseman is gonna get that opportunity. It's just, you know what I mean? It's just not this year. Like, you know what I mean? This is his third year. But like, see. So okay, real quick. So back to Kuminga. So Kuminga, he just gotta get a little bit more diverse with his offensive repertoire, and not just be his only move be just forcing the drive to the basket and then kind of getting there, but not getting all the way there, and then not being able to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? So that's what happens with Kuminga a lot. But the thing about it is, like, I still hear these callers call in on a radio show talking about Kuminga need to play more. I'm like, what is y'all watching? I mean, and this is what tells me that these people don't be knowing what they're talking about. They just going off the highlights and the sexy plays and the dunks and all that shit. That shit cool, but you don't do that all the time. The defense ain't gonna be just letting you just drive to the basket and just dunk on them all the time. They know if he start doing that shit, it's a wrap if they let him do that. But you got to get to the basket first to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes you great. That's the dope part about it, being able to have a defender in front of you and figure out a way to get around or through him and get to the basket, then dunk that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Wiseman, I'm not worried about Wiseman just because his Wiseman's thing is just more. Wiseman's thing is just about more playing time, more experience, and just getting out there more. That's all it is with Wiseman. You know what I'm saying? But they act like he should already be like this dominant force down low already. When the nigga only played like 40 something NBA games, 36 plus whatever other 10 games that he's played this year, because there's been a few games when he didn't get in, no show or whatever, or no playing time or whatever. So he didn't play like 40 something, close to 50 games total in his career. That's not even a whole regular season. You know what I'm saying? So we got to give Wiseman more time. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Because that's the only thing that's needed from him. He's not needed to be this big dominant player. So Kuminga, like I said, if he can diversify his offensive game a little bit more, get his outside shot a little better, get a little crossover or something, you know what I'm saying? And figure out a way to beat your man off the dribble other than, because just putting your head down and just forcing it, that ain't gonna work. And that's all he do right now, and that's the reason why he can't be on the court a lot, even though he's super athletic and dynamic and all that, is because that's not gonna win games, bro. You know what I mean? So when I hear these callers calling in talking about he need to play more, he need to, you know what I'm saying? How you gonna, like, bro? Right now, Kuminga ain't ready to be given big minutes. He's just not. So if you think you just gonna he just gonna be given minutes just because he was a high draft pick and shit? Nah, maybe on another team, not on this team. You know what I'm saying? That's trying to win championships and shit. And lastly, about Moody, not really just lastly because Jordan Poole is a young player too. They always try to, because they say, well, I don't consider him a young player no more like that because he's a part of the core. Yeah, he is a part of that top core now. He's a part of that Steph, Clay, Dre, Wiggins, Jordan Poole. He's a part of that core. Yeah, he is. But he's still a young player. He's still only 23. This is still only his fourth year in the league. Now I know 4 years in the league. Now you're getting into the area of you a vet. You know what I mean? You a young vet, but 4 years is okay. Now you're still a young player though. You know what I'm saying? So it's not really a lastly like Moody is the last young player, because Poole is a young player too. But he's kind of like, now he's kind of ascended to that next level. You know what I mean? But he's still a young player. But lastly, with Moody is he just don't got a whole bunch of pizzazz to his game. But I trust him to be on the court 10 times more than I'm not gonna say 10 times more. That's overdoing it. But I trust Moody to be on the court more than I trust Kuminga to be on the court, because you can just see he gets it a little more. He understands a little bit more. You know, he's not as athletic and dynamic, but he's athletic as well. You know what I mean? He's a young player. You know what I'm saying? But I like Moody. You know what I'm saying? I like Moody. It ain't, like I said, it ain't a whole bunch of pizzazz and flair to his game. You know what I'm saying? But he's a solid player. He plays solid. You know, he's still a young player, so he's only his second year. So, you know, sometimes he still do second year player type shit. He'll get out of position on defense, lose his man behind him for a backdoor layup, or, you know, make a not so smart pass on offense, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But he plays the game the right way. He plays Warrior basketball the right way. You know what I'm saying? And he understands what Steve Kerr wants him to do out there. Gang shit. And once again, with Moody, the times when he do be out there, you know, fucking up or doing young player shit, and his shit is also related to just, he's a young player, just got to continue to play more. You know what I'm saying? And just gain more experience. And also, these young players is under a lot of pressure, even though they're young. You know what I mean? And I know in the moment, you know what I mean, it may not, they may not feel like there's a whole bunch of pressure on them, but it's pressure just because of who they coming up under. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes that can make you fuck up more. You know what I mean? And sometimes that's what I see with Wiseman and Kuminga. It's like they want to do good so well, especially Wiseman. He wants to do well so bad that sometimes you can you know what I'm saying? You can do it. You know, to where you fuck up because you want to do so well. You know what I'm saying? So it's just calming down and just calm down, play your game, play within your game, let the game come to you. But yeah, they don't want to fuck up because they know they playing on the championship team. They know Steph, Clay, and Dre, and you know what I mean, and all the championship pedigree. You know what I mean? That's on this motherfucking team. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Moody is the homie, man. That's the little homie right there. Feel me? So I say all that to say I'm not worried about the Golden State Warriors. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what happens tonight. I don't even know who playing because it's a back-to-back. And when it's a back-to-back, it'd be a lot of motherfuckers that don't play on the back-to-back. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to anticipate that Clay ain't going to play. You know what I mean? But I do think Steph and Dre will play. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else is going to play. You know what I mean? It's just probably Clay won't play tonight. You know what I mean? But you know, the young core, and like I said, the thing about it is, the thing about it is, these are all, outside of Jordan Poole, who's only 23 himself, these are players that are 20 and 21 years old, bro. Like, I'm sorry. I know at 24, 25, they'll be, at 5, 6, maybe some of them 7 years played by that time. You know what I mean? But it's not necessarily the years to look at. Look at how much they have played, because it all going to depend on how good the big three continue to be going forward. If they continue to be good and keep playing at an all-time level, you know what I'm saying? they still going to be in the forefront, bro. So that means that for the young players, their time is always going to be limited. You know what I mean? As long as Steph, Clay, and Dre is still playing at a high level, and you can still contend and win championships. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't going to get rid of that to say, okay, well, they're older now, even though they still winning, they older, so let's throw them to the side and make these young niggas the main core. The young niggas haven't proved that they're being groomed to be able to carry the torch and be able to carry the shit after Steph, Clay, and Dre once they start to go down and once they're gone. You know what I mean? Moody, Kuminga, Wiseman, Jordan Poole, they're all being groomed to be able to keep the shit going. But that don't necessarily mean they gon' win championships, bro. It's not easy to win championships, bro. The Warriors are winning championships because they got a championship core. You know what I mean? And they got Steph Curry. You know what I mean? Once Steph Curry is gone, then you will really be able to see really how good all these young players are as a team. As long as Steph Curry is here, everything is up under that umbrella. So like, you know what I'm saying? You know, you don't fully know what the team is going to look like. After now, what I do know is I don't believe it's going to be a team that's going to contend for championships every year. I think they'll still be a good team. I think they can still be a good team, and maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully I am wrong, and they will be able to keep contending for championships. But the history of the game just don't say that. Like, this is like, you don't just, you know what I mean? Like, once Steph Curry go, you know, it's gonna take a dip, bro. It just is what it is. That's a once in a lifetime player right there. That's an all time great. Top 10 right now. If he win another championship, to me, he top 5. But just to be top 10 already of all the players that played in the NBA, and you are one of the top 10 best of all time, greatest of all time, yeah, that's saying some shit. So, but still, even in saying that, what I'm saying is that these young players, from what they coming up under, and because their learning curve is going to be a lot as far as the knowledge of the game because of who they around, but it's going to be minimal because of like playing time and experience because of who they playing up under. Man, I'm not finna start looking at judging Moody, Kuminga, or Wiseman about if they like bust type players or not until like they all like 24, 25 years old. They got a whole nother 2-3 years, you know what I'm saying, before I even start to even worry about them not being the type of caliber player that people think that they're gonna be. Now, all of them might not be superstars or all players, you know what I'm saying, or all-time greats. But I mean, just to have solid careers, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I believe that James Wiseman could be like a, not to compare him to nobody, but I'm saying I believe he could be like let me see. I believe at his apex, if he was to get everything out of who he could possibly be in his career, you know what I mean? And understand what I'm saying. I'm saying if he could do that, I mean everything. If he can get everything out of the player that he should be in his prime years, he could be a player like a David Robinson, like the Admiral. You know what I'm saying? He can be a player like that. Kuminga, if he gets everything out of who he could possibly be, you know what I'm saying? He could end up being like a Damn. Who can I? I'm thinking about Kawhi Leonard, but I just don't see it. They were saying that, and I know Steve Kerr said he thought that Kuminga could be a Kawhi Leonard type player and have that type of impact defensively, but I just don't see it. You know what I'm saying? He's still young, so he still got a chance to. I mean, when Kawhi was a second year player, like Kawhi, you could see Kawhi's defensive impact when he was a rookie. He won the Finals MVP against the Miami Heat in his second year in the league. Okay, because of the defense that he played on LeBron James. I believe it was his second year. It was either his second or his third. He was a young player. But without looking at it and off the top of my head, I'm gonna say that was his second year in the league. His rookie year, they made the finals, I believe, and they lost. Where they almost won, but they lost in 7 to the Heat. And then in 14, I believe in 14, that was his second year. Man, I'm trying to look it up now. Fuck that. Kawhi Leonard. Yeah, let me see. When did Oh no. Okay, so he was drafted in 2011. So NBA draft 2011. Okay, so if he was drafted in 2011, that means 2011, 2012 was his rookie year. 2012, 2013, which was his second. So that would be his second year. 2012, 2013 is his second year. And that was the year that they made it to the finals and lost in heartbreaking fashion to the Heat. Because the Heat won it in 12 and 13. And then they made it back again. It was a rematch of the 2013 finals and the 2014 finals. And so, okay, so it was his third year. But what I'm saying is, by this time in Kawhi Leonard's career as a second year player, he was already showing that he's he was one of the best defenders in the league already. And Kuminga just has not shown that. So that's why, it's hard for me to go Kawhi Leonard. Plus, I feel like Kuminga is more like athletic and a little bit more dynamic than, you know what I'm saying, than Kawhi is, just like athleticism wise, not like basketball skill wise. Basketball skill wise, Kawhi, his last few years with San Antonio, and that 1 year that was with the Raptors, you know what I'm saying, and his first year or two with the Clippers, you know what I'm saying, they said that man was playing like Jordan. He do look like Jordan on the court with a lot of his, moves and his post ups and all that shit. But yeah, so Kawhi Leonard, he's not. I don't see Kawhi Leonard. But let me see. I think Kuminga. Who can I compare Kuminga to if he plays at the highest level that his potential will allow him to play? I want to say, I said David Robinson with Wiseman because they both left-handed. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of see that. You know what I mean? And David Robinson was a great defender too. David Robinson's an all-time great player. You know what I mean? Top 50 all time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's higher than top 50. I'm just saying he made the original, like they just had the NBA 75. When they did the NBA 50 25 years ago, he made that one. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, David Robinson is an all-time great. He's one of the ones that everybody from that San Antonio Spurs dynasty is just, Tim Duncan, he gets his credit, but he's a little underrated, man. You know what I'm saying? He's an all-time great player. You know what I mean? He was even better than David Robinson was. You know what I'm saying? Um, at least accomplishments wise, and I don't know. I might take David Robinson over Tim Duncan, but yeah, Tim Duncan accolades and but David Robinson is right there. But for Kaminga, I would say it's man. Um, I would say I would say, damn man, who can I say, bro? It got to be somebody that's that's athletic, but has some skills as well. You know what I mean? Whether it's from this era, you know what I'm saying, or the previous era. Like I took David Robinson from you know he was drafted in the late '80s, I believe, but his era is the '90s. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I took David Robinson from the '90s, and he played in the early 2000s as well, but I believe David Robinson retired in what, '01, so he retired, I believe, after he won his second championship in 2001. I mean 2000, I'm sorry, 2003. So yeah, David Robinson retired after the 2003 season. He went out on top after they won the championship in 2003. Um, But yeah, nah, man, I'm my bad. I don't want to stay on this too long because I can't. But it'll come to me. It'll come to me. But Kaminga, if he plays up to his potential, you know what I'm saying, man. I'm gonna say somebody like man, who the fuck can I say, bro? I know somebody gonna be watching this like, bro, you could have said this player, that player. It's just really, I'm really stumped on this one. Yeah, I'm really stumped on this one, man. Hey, now it's getting to me because I want to think about somebody. I didn't Vince Carter then popped in my head, but I don't see him like a Vince Carter. I mean, that may be a good one. You know what I'm saying? Um, that might be actually a good one, Vince Carter, because people got to remember in Vince Carter's prime, he was a great player, bro. You know what I'm saying? He was a great player for Toronto and for the New Jersey Nets. You know what I mean? It was not unnormal for Vince Carter to put up 40-point games when he was at his prime. He wasn't just a dunker. You know what I mean? He was known for that. But, you know, he had some game to him. You know what I mean? Now, he could put the ball in the basket. The reason why, after I've said Vince Carter, the reason why I kind of it's more I kind of I'm talking myself into it is because he knew how to put the ball in the basket, but he wasn't like he wasn't the most skillful player. I'm not saying that he didn't have skills. Obviously he did, but his game was a lot predicated on pure athleticism and just knowing how to put the ball in the basket. And right now, that's what I see from Kaminga. Right now, Kaminga is supremely athletic, but he has a hard time really um, knowing how to really put the ball in the basket NBA wise. You know what I mean? Like when he playing in the G League and all that, yeah, he gonna dominate them and he gonna play better against them because he's superior to them athletically. You know what I mean? To all those players. But even though a lot of players in the NBA, you are superior than athletically, um, you're not superior than them smart wise, IQ wise, and just knowing how to play the game. So Now, when I think back on it, I don't know how Vince Carter was able to just, you know, hey, be that great of a player and just get buckets like that. You know what I mean? Because he wasn't, like I said, I'm not saying he didn't have skills, but he wasn't, the most skillful player, like a Kobe Bryant or a Kyrie Irving. You know what I mean? Or something like that, or Kevin Durant, or you know. So so you know, I'm looking at it like, um, if Kaminga could just figure out, he needs to go look at some Vince Carter games and just look at what he did and how he was able to just, hey, figure out a way to get to the basket and score. You know what I mean? And not get to the basket and don't know what to do and turn the ball over. So that's what I see from Kaminga, but I'm not worried about him though. You know what I'm saying? I'm not worried about him because he's still young, and I'm still giving him. I don't give it. He could still have a hard time the rest of the year. I'm still not giving up on him. I'm going to say what I see and where he needs to improve, but I'm not going to give up on him. He's still young. You know what I mean? And I believe that the Warriors are good at developing young players. Every player that they've drafted hasn't worked out, but a lot of them have. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that, you know they need to, um I just think that we need to be payers and let the Warriors do what let the Warriors organization handle them how they handling them. They've shown, I believe, that they know what the fuck they doing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I believe. What's good with my guy High Risk? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they've shown, you know, they've shown that they are that the Warriors, that they know what they're doing as far as, developing players. So I'm gonna trust them with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna trust them, you know what I mean? And like I said, these are players that's 20 and 21 years old. You know what I mean? Like, and they're playing on a championship contending team, you know. So like Kaminga, Wiseman, and Moody, you know, and even to some extent, even Jordan Poole, even though he has elevated himself to that top core on the team now, man, you know, that initial three that I just said, I mean, they got another 2 or 3 years before I get to really worrying about them, that they can't do this and they can't do that, and it's gonna take time. You know what I mean? I think Kaminga is being humbled a little bit. You know what I mean? He kind of, probably came in as a little bit of a hot shot. You know what I mean? Thinking he's seeing that, hey, this ain't as easy as I thought. My athleticism ain't just, you know what I mean? Nah, you got to know how to play the game out there. So, for me, ultimately, you know what I'm saying? I'm not worried about the Warriors, bro. I'm not worried about them at all. I'll have like I said, I can already tell you right now what I think the problem is. The problem is they're not together defensively. You know what I'm saying? And they turn the ball over. The turnover's always been there though. So it's not that I'm not. I am worried that now. I am worried about that because them niggas turn the ball. But at the same time, I'm really not, because they've always had a turnover problem and they're able to overcome it. So it's not the turnovers, because they know how to. They never completely stop turning it over. How to get it under wraps when they need to in big moments, you know what I mean, in pressure moments, you know what I mean, in big games and stuff like that. So I'm not really worried about the turnovers. You know what I'm saying? They just not playing together defensively, you know what I mean, as a unit. And like I said, I believe that a lot of that I'm sorry, this may sound like an excuse, it may sound cocky, you know what I mean, or whatever, but I think a lot of that is just championship hangover, bro. Like, we done got all the way back to the top and shit. I know that the next season just started, but I'm still celebrating the championship, brother. You know what I'm saying? So, like, they still trying to wear that championship glow as much as they can. Now, like I said, after 20 games, it's time to really just put all that behind you, bro. Even right now, it's time to put all that behind you. But I'm just saying, I think that's part of the reason. All of the shit that I just said, too, the past hour and a half. But also, I just believe championship hangover, man. They feeling themselves. You know what I mean? Everybody's you know what I mean? Everybody giving them their best shot. I mean, they've been getting everybody's best shot for years now, so that's nothing new. But you know, they just, you know, sometimes, you know, and then what I mean is this is not a valid excuse, but bro, it really truly is that some of these games, bro, like I believe they think they getting up for the game. You know what I mean? Like a Monday night game against Sacramento in Sacramento and shit. Like they think they ready for it, but I don't think they fully up and ready for it, bro. This is a team that have won 4 championships, bro, since 2015. You know what I'm saying? They done won 4 of them, bro. That means they made deep runs, and they had 2 other times where they went to the finals and lost. So they done made deep runs 6 out of the last 8 years. They done been in every situation and every type of, you know, big game that you can be in, bro. They done seen it all. So sometimes you just can't all the way muster it up. You may muster it up for half the game, a quarter. Last night, they mustered it up for 1 quarter. You know what I mean? They thought that was going to be enough. In the second quarter, the Kings showed them, nah, that's not enough. You're going to have to play the whole game. And in the second half, they had a game on their hands, and they ended up losing in the end. You know what I'm saying? So that's not an excuse to me. I'm just saying that it's not a valid excuse. It is an excuse, but it's not a valid excuse. But it's just, I believe that's part of what's going on. It's a part of the championship hangover, and a part of the championship hangover is wake me up when it's April. You know what I'm saying? That's the part of it. You know what I mean? But they gotta play these. You know, if last year didn't show them anything, I believe it showed them that the regular season does matter. You know what I mean? That you still gonna have those regular season games where you you know, you can kind of lollygag through the game or whatever, or lollygag through a certain portion of the season or whatever. But at some point here, they gotta, you know, they you know, like I said, it's not a worry thing. I'm not worried about nothing. They got to play. They would have to play like this for the whole regular season. You know what I mean? In order for me to start being worried. And by that time, it'll probably be too late. You know what I mean? Because if they play like this throughout the whole season, then they probably ain't going to have a winning record, and they probably ain't even going to make the damn playoffs. Do we really think that's going to motherfucking happen? I don't think so. So, you know, that's basically it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not worried about the Warriors. Any fan that's a true fan, because if y'all look at, you know, I said some funny shit in the description, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Any fan that is worried about the Warriors, you know what I mean? Any Warriors fan is a dumb, stupid, ignorant son of a bitch. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, obviously I'm just trying to be funny, you know, and shit. But if you are a authentic Warriors fan and you've been a Warriors fan for a long time, okay, I know it's younger, you know, I'm a little older now, so I know some younger fans that probably, you know, wasn't really around to see the bad times, you know, but if you've been a Warrior fan for a long time, bro, and you've seen this team win all of these championships, and you know what the team was before they start winning championships, you can't, there's nothing to be worried about. Because for me, because like I said, for one, they've earned the right to play mediocre basketball and still have motherfuckers believe that they're going to win a championship or be right there in the end. They've earned that right. They're the defending champions. They just won a championship in June, for crying out loud. You know what I'm saying? So They earn that, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna sit here and trip after 13 games. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna trip after 13 games because they 5-8. You know what I mean? In November, in the middle of November and shit. We ain't even had Thanksgiving. We ain't even had Christmas. We ain't even had the All-Star break. Come on now. So, man, I'm trying to tell you. You know what I mean? If you from the Bay Area, we all went to some of them Warriors games. When I had season tickets in 2009. Did you go with me to some of those games, B-Nut? You know what I mean? In 2009, when I had season tickets. I had season tickets in Steph Curry's rookie year, the 2009-2010 season. Now, that was after that was 2 years after the We Believe year. And We Believe, that was like a 2-year run where we were actually good for like 2 years and then went right back to being trash. But that Steph Curry's rookie year, we was trash, bro. We was straight trash. You know what I'm saying? I got season tickets for dirt cheap, nigga. 41 home games, all preseason games, the autographed Monte Ellis jersey that I still got, you know what I'm saying? And all for under $1,000, my nigga. The whole season, under $1,000. Like, they called me for the season tickets. You know what I'm saying? I didn't call them. Like, they was calling around. I guess, when you go, I went to, when you go to Warriors games, sometimes they pass around shit or send around shit for the, to be on a part of the what is it? The email newsletter, whatever, so they'll ask for your, email address or maybe your phone number or some contact information to put you on the fan list or whatever to send you, whatever about what's going on. So I think that's how they got my number, but they called me trying to offer, a season ticket package. And at first I wasn't hearing them out, but then I heard them out. You know what I mean? I went up there and fucked with it. Got the season tickets. You know what I mean? When I went up there to go get my shit, they let me walk around on the court. This was at Oracle. I remember my nigga Ant with me, Geek Squad Prop. You know what I mean? Prophecy. You feel me? That nigga took me up there, man. We went to Oracle. I got a chance to walk on the court, you know what I mean, and walk around actually on the court and jump up, touch the rim and all that shit. So that was dope. But the team was straight up butt cheeks, man. You know what I'm talking about? Them motherfuckers was straight up chin cheeks, nigga. You feel me? So, if you remember those times, bro, and you know what the Warriors is right now, you ain't worried about a damn thing. Because another part of it too is, like I said, that championship last year, which bookmarks Kevin Durant, meaning a championship before KD and after KD, that solidifies it. They don't got to do nothing else. I believe they're going to win the championship this year. I'm not guaranteeing it, but I believe it's what's going to happen. However, if it don't happen, I'm not going to be shocked. They don't got to prove nothing else. They don't got to prove nothing else. If they don't win no more championships ever, for this era, you know what I mean, for this core, you know what I mean, they won 4. They've done enough. You know what I'm saying? So I'm good. Everything from here on out is just icing on the cake. Obviously, I'm a root for my team. I want them to play well. You know what I mean? I want them to win a championship. I want them to win every game they play. You know what I'm saying? But if they don't, it's cool, bruh. They done gave me a solid 8-9 year run. This shit don't happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna take this in and enjoy these last little, whatever, 2 or 3 years that this core is going to be together. Because it's going to come to an end. They're more closer to the end than the front now. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. Steph's 34. He'll be 35 in March. And Draymond and Klay Thompson are both 32, I believe. You know what I'm saying? 32, 33. So they're not done. You know what I mean? Even if they don't win no more championships, they're not done. Still competing and contending. I believe they got another solid 2 to 3 years of realistically competing, all the way up until Steph is probably about 37, 38. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, it's more closer to the beginning than the end. But I'm not even thinking about that. I'm just saying they even gave us everything They didn't gave us everything we needed, bro. You know what I mean? This Warriors dynasty is unexpected. Steph Curry's career was unexpected. He wasn't supposed to do this. He wasn't supposed to be this all-time player. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy. I was happy. I would have been just happy with that one ring in 2015. I was good. I was good than a bitch. I didn't need nothing else. You know what I mean? Because I never thought I would see the motherfucking Warriors win a championship in my lifetime. Like, you know what I'm saying? They was straight up trash, nigga. Straight up trash, man. Butt cheeks. So, ass. So, yeah, we hella lucky beating that. You know what I mean? Just in the Bay Area in general. We didn't see a lot of success, and we didn't see a lot of champions. The last decade in 2010s, I went to every parade we had. I went to 2010 Giants parade. I went to 2012 Giants parade. I went to 2014 Giants parade. I went to 2015 Warriors parade. That motherfucker, that first Warriors parade in 2015, that shit, I'll never forget that. It was just like the whole vibe of the Bay Area, especially if you was in Oakland that day, because that's what, you know what I'm saying? That's where the parade was. They were still over there in Oracle at the time. Man, that shit was just like, you just felt it in the air, bro. It was a great day. It was a Friday, too. You know what I'm saying? It was a great day in the Bay, bro. I'll never forget that. You know what I mean? Even waking up that next morning, thinking about the parade the next day, waking, baking, like, man, that shit was ill. You feel me? So I'll never forget that. I went to the 2017 parade. I went to the 2018 Warriors parade. So I went to every parade. The only one I didn't go to was this last one in 2022. I don't know. I just wasn't really tripping off of it like that. If they win it again, though, this year, I'm going to the next one. Take my kids with me. You feel me? But, yeah. So that's 10 Giants, 12 Giants, 14 Giants, 15 Warriors, 17 Warriors, 18 Warriors. And then on top of that, in football, we had 2 Super Bowl appearances. Should have won both them motherfuckers. That would have been the triple threat to win, for all 3 of our teams to win a championship in the same decade. That would have just been lovely. 2012 season, we fall to the Ravens. 2019, we fall to the Chiefs. You know what I mean? Like, man, that was some bullshit right there. But, you know, but I say that to say we've been lucky, bro. We didn't seen a lot of success. And not only that, you know what I'm saying? I don't see the Warriors making it through the playoffs into the championship. Unfortunately, this year is going to be their last as a super team for a while. But it was a good run. I mean, that's a good opinion that you got, Tim. You know what I'm saying? You definitely entitled to your opinion. You know what I mean? I don't know what you basing that off of. You know what I'm saying? If you basing it off the beginning of the year, I could see why. But my whole point on this episode right here is it's early. You know what I'm saying? So I'm still giving them. I'm not worried about, because they, a few games under 500 right now. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, hey, I'm not mad at you for, you know what I'm saying, for feeling that way. Me, myself, I said before last year, I felt they was going to win a championship. Like I said, ain't no way. I feel like they going to three-peat. I think they going to win it this year and next year. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, hey, I'm not mad at you, my nigga. I'm not mad at you, my nigga. I know you love the Warriors. You know what I mean? I know you a Warrior fan to the core. You know what I'm saying? We ain't all Warriors fans. We ain't all got to think, what's the word? Monolithically or as one or whatever. Hey, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I know you will be pleasantly surprised if they win another championship or end up getting a motherfucking three-peat. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. It's good to hear from my nigga, though. You know what I mean? Off top, what's good with my nigga, though, bro? You know what I'm saying? Bay Area Block Report. Tim. My big brother Tim put me on, man. You know what I'm saying? Tim put me on in his rap shit. Ben had me on for years, had me in a good position, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, always much love to Tim. I'm just on a little I'm on a purposeful kind of like little hiatus. I know a little hiatus this year. I know motherfuckers, nigga, we ain't got time to be taking no hiatus out here, nigga. Tomorrow ain't promised. That's true, but I just nigga, I'm finna come back to the in 23. I'm finna come back to the music full force, but more on the producer side of it. But I got a plan, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just working out my little plan right now, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? This is all planned. And when I come back, I'm coming back hard on they punk ass, my nigga. You feel me? I'm only going where the money at. You know what I'm saying? I'm not playing around with no, you know what I mean, with nothing no more. But not that I was playing around before, but it's just certain shit that I'm just finna be doing different now. Yeah. Nah, man, I ain't worried about the Warriors, man. I ain't worried about them at all, man. You know what I'm talking about? And they gonna be cool. They gonna be solid. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, after 20 games, I'll come back with, after a quarter of the season, I'll come back with a realistic, not a realistic, with a more informed, you know what I'm saying, take on where I really feel like they at. Now I know that's only 7 games away. They already played 13. But still, who knows? These next 7, they might go 7-0. You know what I mean? 6-1, 5-2. So, and if that does happen, that means they trending in the right direction as the season is continuing to progress. And so they 5-8 right now. If they end up after 20 games, so that means they got 7. So if they got 7 games left until they play 20 games. So out of these next 7, if they go 5-2, that means after 20 games, they 10-10. I'm cool with that, bro. I'll be cool with that. That's only a quarter of the season, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'll be cool with that. You know what I'm saying? So, and they will be progressing in the right, you know what I'm saying? In the right way. The young players, I'm not worried about them. They're gonna get better as the season go along. But what I do want to say though, you know what I'm saying? It's still early. You know what I mean? And the reason why I say that, because last year, Balenciaga, I call him Balenciaga, but the nigga name was Balencia. Namenia, whatever, Balencia. He had a great opening night against the Lakers last year. I think he scored like 15 opening night. He was hitting threes, all type of shit. And then damn near for the rest of the year, that nigga looked like straight up Tridash, man. But then he showed up in certain moments in the playoffs when we needed him to hit a shot or two, right? So I say that to say JaMychal Green. I like the first game or two that JaMychal Green played. Since then, he's been straight trash. So if anything I can say is, see, we need for players like JaMychal Green that got more NBA experience to play better. He ain't really been playing the last 3 or 4 games because, I mean, you not playing well, brother. You know what I'm saying? Like JaMychal Green, you know what I'm saying? Like, and he's supposed to have more experience than the young players, but he's playing just like he don't know what the fuck to do out there, just like them. And I've seen him in the past play better against us when he was with the Nuggets. But I'm not worried about it because I feel like, you know what I'm saying? He ain't never been on a team like this before. So he probably just still trying to get used to, you know what I mean, playing with niggas. And, you know what I mean? It also is pressure. You don't want to come in and make no mistakes and, you know what I'm saying, all that. But whatever it is, he got to snap the fuck on up out of it. You know what I'm saying? Because we need a little bit more veteran. We need better play from our veterans off the bench right now, because that's what's really hurting us. What's hurting us is we're not playing together as one unit defensively, and that second unit, they just come in and they don't give a nigga nothing, man. Steph out there doing his thing, busting ass, you know what I mean, doing what he do, shooting it, not looking at it go through the rim, turning his head and running back down the court, and that shit and splashing. Clay, I've been saying I ain't worried about Clay. You know what I'm saying? Clay gonna be there when we need him. Draymond is doing what Draymond do. The Wiggins, you know what I'm saying, is doing what he need to do. Looney's doing Looney things. He not playing above his level, but he not playing below his level. He doing exactly what Looney supposed to do. Them niggas come off the bench. Poole need to be a little bit better. DiVincenzo, okay, he just came back from a little injury or whatnot, but he could be a little, you know what I'm saying, a little better too. You know what I mean? He's supposed to be a little, you know what I mean, give us a little, veteran presence. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, Jermichael Green, you know what I mean? And then we get to Wiseman and Kuminga. And like I said, with them, it's just experience. I feel like they're going to get better throughout the year. You know what I'm saying? But it's just experience. They just got to keep playing more. They got to, and in the little minutes that they given, they got to play well. If they don't play well in them little 10 minutes that they get, Steve Kerr not going to keep putting them niggas out there just because they high draft picks. It just don't work like that. You feel me? So, you know what I'm saying? And also, real quick, if somebody thinking my nigga Tim, I just got you talking about Bay Area Black Report. He the one that gave me the idea about doing Snax on Sports. Snax on Sports started out as something that was going to be a local Bay Area sports TV show ran on the TV station, you know what I mean, in the Bay Area locally. You know what I'm saying? Some things happening, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? God bless. You know what I'm saying? My nigga went through a little something, you know what I'm saying? Better now. And you feel me? But it didn't all fall through on that end, but it gave me the with the TV show, but it gave me the idea to just go on and just start just running with it, you know what I mean? On my own little whatever podcast, whatever you want to call it, you know what I mean, on YouTube or whatnot. So shout out my nigga Tim, Bay Area Block Report, for that as well. You know what I mean? Just wanted to say that since my nigga in the room, in the building, or I don't know if he's still here, or if he was. But yeah. So, but man, I'm finna end this live in a minute though, because I'm finna go watch this Monday Night Football, and the Warriors finna play in an hour or so. You feel me? But I just wanted to get on here, you know what I'm saying, and just say that yeah, I ain't worried about the Warriors. And any other Warriors fan that's out there, you know what I mean, that really know what this area is about, you know what I mean, that y'all shouldn't be worried either. You feel me? Come talk to me after the All-Star break if they still like under 500 or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Come talk to me then, and then maybe we can have a conversation. And then I still won't be paying. Depends on how many games they under 500. How many, is it 1 or 2 games? I still won't be panicked. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, they didn't earn the right to have the benefit of the doubt just off of the amount of championships they didn't win these past few years. I know I'm saying, well, it ain't about what they did last year. It ain't about that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, when you won it 4 times, nigga, I understand if they only won it 1 time. They didn't win the motherfucker 4 times. You know what I'm saying? Since 2015. They got that pedigree, brother. So I'm going to trust them. You know what I'm saying? Before I trust some stressing out, worrisome ass fans and some old punk ass media that wants you to be worried about some shit so they can have some shit to talk about. So that's basically all it is. But yeah, we got a deep team this year, an extremely deep team. They just got to put it all together. You know what I mean? They just got to put it all together, and they will. And it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay, Bay Area. Don't worry, don't fret. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Have no fear. Steph Curry is here. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. You feel me? So yeah, man. That's all it is to it, man. I'm finna get up out of here though. Let me see. Let me see what's going on, man. Cause I got this other guy. I'm over here watching the game on my laptop too, while I'm doing this Lidnai. Let me see what time the Warriors play. They at home, so they play at 7. They play the Spurs. They should win, but we'll see. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if they lose tonight, Tim, I don't know. I might have to. Okay, the game already started. Eagles, man. Another thing, real quick before I go off, man. My bad. I ain't been doing my I haven't been doing my NFL weekly recap over the past. You know what I'm saying? I think it's been like 3 weeks since I did an NFL weekly recap. You know what I mean? I already knew I would miss, some weeks throughout the season just because, shit happens. You know what I'm saying? Nigga is living life. But I ain't think I was gonna miss 3 weeks in a row. But I'm gonna do a recap this week. So I'll be back with the NFL weekly recap. You know what I mean? We are halfway through the season now. So it's the perfect week to do a mid-season report. You know what I mean? A mid-season recap. You know what I mean? So it might be a half weekly recap, half mid-season recap. You know what I'm saying, of the NFL. But I'm gonna be back with that after this Monday night game tonight. And then on the Kyrie Irving news front, you know what I mean? I probably got another live or two about that because it's boy, I got some more to say about that just a little bit, because it's a hot topic and it's a lot of flip-flopping going on. Them buck dancers ain't trying to be buck dancers no more, but y'all done already bucked, so we done already seen you dancing. So, you know what I mean? Shaq, Chuck, Charles Barkley, we already know you not even ashamed about your buck dancing. You know what I mean? You a proud buck dancer. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Jalen Rose. I got to do one on Jalen Rose. I'm so disappointed in Jalen Rose, man. Fab Five was my favorite when I was growing up, man. 9, 10, 11 years old, man. I used to love the Fab Five, bro. To this day, my basketball team growing up, we wanted to be the Fab Five. We all start wearing black socks. I wear black socks to this day, every day, because the Fab Five at Michigan, okay, wore black socks, and they represented the hood. They represented what we wanted to be. They represented the culture. You know what I mean? They was brash, all bald-headed, 5 freshmen, black kids, you know what I'm saying? From the hood, Chris Webber, you kind of from the hood, nigga. You thought you wanted to be from the hood. You know what I mean? But you wasn't really from the hood. You know what I'm saying? But regardless, he still represented, you know what I mean? And they was going against the establishment. You know what I'm saying? With they was going against the establishment with how they was, you know what I mean? How they kind of brought like a hoodish street ball kind of vibe atmosphere to college basketball. You know what I'm saying? Everything before them was, prepped up college basketball, and and then they kind of, they brought the hood in there, you know what I mean? And we was, you know what I mean? And so for Jalen Rose to, take the stand that he's taken against Kyrie and buck dance, and then try to walk it back. For one, to take the stance that he took, then to have to try to defend his blackness, then to try to defend his defense of his blackness, it's just like, brother, they got you in that matrix, boy. You done signed that contract. Yeah, you done signed that contract, you know what I mean? Now them Jews got you, boy. You done signed that contract. Now you got to say what you got to read that script. You got to read that script, nigga. You got to read that script, boy. But yeah, I'm disappointed, man. I'm not disappointed in Charles Barkley. I mean, I already knew he was cooning. his cooning is damn near acceptable. We accept that, and just still looked up there. And when I watch NBA on TNT. You know what I mean? I like watching the show and laughing at them niggas. They be saying some funny shit. You know what I mean? It's one of the best NBA shows, pregame shows, or whatever going. It is. I'm not gonna lie and say I don't like to watch it. I do, but I'm just saying when you see a young man in Kyrie Irving, when you see that what the establishment is doing to this man, don't you then partake in it. You know what I'm saying? Whether you agree or disagree or whatever, just you know what I mean, just hey, don't join in on the public lynching, media lynching. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. So that's where a lot of the black community is upset with Jalen Rose and Shaq and who else was up there buck dancing? Reggie Miller and all these Stephen A. And I mean we already know Stephen A. You know what I'm saying? That boy been up there bucking for a minute now, boy. But yeah, so it's just one of them things, and you know what I mean. But that's a whole different. I'm gonna do another live about that sometime this week. You know what I'm saying? You know. No, here they go. Here they go. Yeah, I mean it hit everybody different. It do everybody. I put up a little post about the unvaccinated aren't dying. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? It was a little meme I posted. You know what I'm saying? And the comments are starting to get a little heated. Not heated, but you know what I mean? I'm my home girl, one of my childhood growing up friends. You know what I'm saying? She talking about shit. Cause I put, you know what I'm saying? I've never, to my knowledge, I've been tested before. I've never contracted coronavirus, not even one time. Both my daughters have contracted it. It didn't pass over to me. And even when they got it, they didn't have no symptoms of it, or they didn't, they just tested positive. You know what I'm saying? So who knows if they really had it or not? Maybe that's what they say. I'm just saying. I don't know, man. I'm not no conspiracy theorist. I'm just saying that motherfucker live in the same household as you, and she get it, and it don't get past me somehow, or my wife. That's hey, but they say she had it, so. But yeah, I've never tested positive, and I'm not vaccinated. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a little post that's saying because if you gonna look at a few years later now, all of a sudden it's like you don't even hear it. I mean, now you do, but if we look at the NBA, for example, last year around this time, it was about 5, 6, 7 players on almost every team that had to miss a week or two because they tested positive for COVID. Last year, just a year ago, at this time right here. You know what I'm saying? And so now, just 12 months later, this year, nothing. Don't nobody got nothing. That's a head scratcher, but hey, I'm not saying it don't exist. I'm not saying none of that. I know it exists, so I'm not trying to say that. Don't you're trying to say this, blah blah blah. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying maybe it was a little exaggerated a little bit. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. But yeah, I mean, one of the homegirls is saying how she, said she damn near died when she got it unvaccinated. So trust, it can be deadly. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not saying. It's just a post. It's just a post. I didn't even mean. It's just a meme. I didn't even create the meme. I just shared it. So you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that. I know they said motherfuckers died off it, and so I'm not saying that because it is we're all different. God made all of our bodies different. We all the same, but no two human beings have ever been born the same. Okay, so how my body react to it is going to be different than how your body react to it, whether we both vaccinated, not vaccinated, or whatever. So yeah, you know what I mean. It's just, but the thing is where I was with the whole is that's with that's that's with everything though. You know what I mean? Just the regular influenza. People die from influenza every day. You know what I mean? Not everybody, somebody's going to get the flu and they're going to be over it in a week. Somebody else is going to get the flu and they're going to go to the hospital and they ain't going to get over it. It's just, you know what I mean? But it's just the thing about just the media, just the public media pushing of the fear and just trying to make you feel like, yeah, it's all in the head. It's all in the motherfucking head, be nut. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, that's all I want to say about that. I made that little post, and somebody is saying, yeah, you know what I mean. But I was just saying, and because it is going to affect you. So yeah, when I make a post like that, you is going to have somebody that say, hey, well, it affected me. You know what I mean? Because yeah, it's going to. But I'm just saying, for the most part, they were pumping that shit as if you don't get this motherfucking vaccine and you get coronavirus, your fucking head gonna fall off. And I mean, that's just how they was pumping it. You know what I mean? They were pumping it like, if you don't get this fucking vaccine and you contract this virus, body parts are literally going to start falling off. So get this motherfucking vaccine right now. So that's all I'm saying, bro. And that's just not the case. You know what I mean? Obviously, yeah, it's going to, it's going to affect some of us more harshly, but and most of those are, not all, but most of those are people that have preconditioned health problems and older people, or you know what I mean. Man, yeah, I don't know. No, when I think my cousin was only 23 years old, he ain't never got sick in his life, and he caught it and he was dead the next day. So I'm not saying every motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's cases of normally perfect, healthy people that caught it and didn't survive, or caught it and had it really bad. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, man, they the media pumped that shit up, bro, and made it, because I'm just saying, if you look at it, not from what I'm saying, I'm just saying, look and feel with your own eyes. It's still out there and it's still in the media, but it's not as prevalent as it was. You know what I mean? And it's really, if at all. So is it gone? You know what I'm saying? Did we not, did we eradicate the whole damn virus? Because I don't really hear motherfuckers talking about that shit at all. So that's all it is. But I'm finna get gone, man. Snax on Sports. I just wanted to address that about the Warriors and tell all these Warriors fans, and man, stop listening to these narrative-driven media outlets that's trying to pump all of this fear about your team and say, oh, well, even though they just won the championship and they done won 4 out of the last 8 years and shit, and 4 out of their last 6 tries, don't fucking don't fucking, what's the word? Worry about them. Worry about these motherfuckers, and and don't give them the benefit of the doubt and shit. You know what I'm saying? Just worry about these bitches. So yeah, I'm gone, man. Snax on Sports. I'll be back with another one.